So anyway, yeah, these are meme coins. I don't think it's fair to compare them to a company like Ripple. So interesting facts about XRP. XRP is and Ethereum and Bitcoin are the only coins on planet Earth that have ever held the title for the longest time of top 10. XRP, Ethereum, Bitcoin, the three conglomerates, are the only three coins on planet Earth that have held the top 10. And it's interesting because XRP was in the top 10 after it got sued by the SEC. And that to me is insane. Like, you would think it would get knocked out of the top 10 by far. But here's the most interesting thing. XRP did not make a new all-time high, and it still was in the top 10. Like, if that doesn't show strength, then I don't know what does. I don't know what shows strength if that doesn't. You know what I mean? So XRP got sued by the SEC. They didn't create a new all-time high like all the rest of the coins in the top 10, and yet it is still in the top 10. Another interesting thing, I'll share a chart later, is it's the 5 cycles, right? You have a rise, you have a crash, you have a retrace, you have a reaccumulation, and then you have blast off. So for example, 2017 Bitcoin rise, 2018 Bitcoin crash, 2019 Bitcoin retrace, 2020 COVID dump, reaccumulation, and then what happened after that? Blast off. So for XRP, we are not at that blast off phase yet. We are still in reaccumulation. And partly, it's because of the lawsuit and things like that. But also, here's a fun fact. XRP and Bitcoin are the only ones with regulatory clarity. So if you're an institution holding billions and billions of dollars and you want to go shopping for cryptos, you can only buy 2 at the moment. And also, like you said, if it's a government coin, why would you not want to hold it? Interesting. Pepe and SHIB, those are meme coins. Like I said, I have nothing against meme coins. I think they're going to do great. They're going to have their moments. XRP is definitely a long game. It's a long game. But at the end of the day, there's no coin I'd rather hold than XRP. If you looked at XRP versus BTC chart, I don't know if you saw the video I shared, but I shared a video. That video, check it out. I give multiple reasons why I would not want to be holding Bitcoin, and every single reason why I would want to hold anything but Bitcoin at the moment. Just kidding. No, just XRP. But I'm used to XRP being hated. And here's the thing about hated coins. So each crypto coin, asset, stock, whatever, they all hold liquidity. They all hold energy. So what I mean by energy is either a lot of people love the coin or a lot of people hate the coin. But here's the thing. The more that you love it, the more that you hate it, the more energy gets stored. For example, like Monero. People are very neutral on Monero, so it doesn't really move. But XRP, on the other hand, is extremely hated. It is the most extremely hated coin, aside from, a handful, that, to me, is very attractive as an investor, because the more people who, you either really love it or you hate it. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people who are neutral on it, but anyways, the more someone hates something and the more someone loves something, the more energy gets stored in the Fibonacci sequence of that asset. It's interesting. So if you look at the biggest bull run in history, it's 2017. That is the biggest bull run in history as far as growth. And the biggest showstopper in 2017 was XRP. So basically, XRP had the biggest bull run in history. So when you say outperformed, I guess you can say at the moment, yeah, it could be getting outperformed. But I would like to share a chart with you that is basically XRP versus the whole entire market. So it's total 2 or total 3 or others versus XRP USD. And you'll see that um, for the longest time it has been, getting outperformed, but you could see a big reversal coming in, and it's already reversed. And also, if you look at um, that energy and love thing, the energy and if it's love or it's hate, what happens is all that energy gets stored into the asset. So going back to XRP, like for example, back in 2014, 2015, a lot of people were hating on Bitcoin. There's a lot of speculation, a lot of people hating it. But look what happened. It totally outperformed everything, and people were blown away. At first you mocked them, then you join them, and that whole thing. But yeah, it's interesting how energy gets stored into an asset, which creates massive volatile action, right? So, a lot of times when you're looking at the chart, you can't get a good read on it. You don't know what XRP is doing. A lot of times, because XRP is different from most coins, there's a lot of liquidity providers using XRP, right? In essence, XRP is a liquidity provider. And the whole goal for XRP is to reduce the friction within the banking system. So, like for example, if I'm doing business with Japan and I want value and I'm exchanging dollars, but I don't want to hold the Japanese yen, then you have a neutral bridge asset like XRP that could be that intermediary, right? So it's a neutral bridge asset. There's no prejudice on each side, and that's what makes it appealing to a lot of banks and things like that. And I would love to see all the partnerships Bitcoin Cash is making. I would love to see the developers. That's the big thing is you want to look for who's developing. You want to see who's constantly developing. You want to look at the inflation rate. You want to look at, these are all things as an investor like myself. I'm also a trader, but I'm an investor first. These are things you really want to look at. Who's developing? What is the fundamental utility value of said project, right? Bitcoin Cash is just, a better mousetrap than Bitcoin, but nobody really cares, right? People want the real thing. It's like, do you want a Ferrari or do you want a Corvette? I guess Corvettes are fine, but it's not a Ferrari, you know what I mean? So the value is nowhere near a Ferrari. So going back to the 5 phases, I believe that XRP is in its reaccumulation phase. And if you look at the comment below, I think he's sort of new. At least I haven't seen him comment too much. He posted a triangle, and I believe that we are in a massive triangle. I don't know why you wouldn't want to be holding it if it's in a triangle. I think it's in an Elliott wave triangle. I think we had A, B, C, D, and now we are working on E, just like how Bitcoin did back in the COVID days. But it was very fast too. Like when COVID happened, it shot out of there very fast. XRP is developing more of a base, and you know what they say, the bigger the base, the higher in space. If you look at XRP and you zoom out all the way out, you could see it one long sideways consolidation. And that's why people are frustrated with it, and every right to be. But from my perspective, what it's doing is it's developing a very strong base of support. The bigger the base, the higher in space, right? It's building the foundation of layers of volume profiles, layers and layers of support, so that when it eventually does make its way out of there, which I think is coming very soon, probably sometime next year or maybe late next year. It really depends, really depends. There's a lot of factors that go into the markets, as you know, like the stock market, the dollar, crude oil. There's a lot of things that, the bond market, the economy, the liquidity crisis. Data Dash has a good video saying, we're going down, we're going down, 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 down. Bitcoin is pretty much screwed for a couple of years because there's no liquidity. The money printer is not turned on. The economy is retracting, so money, isn't as abundant as it was before. So it doesn't have risky assets to fly to. And then, but on the contrary to that, you could say, well, the fiat currency system is dying. We're looking for alternatives like gold and silver and Bitcoin. Look, I'm not here to knock on any coin. I like SHIB, I like Bitcoin Cash, and I respect everybody's opinion. The only reason I'm making this video is so I can kind of clarify things. This is not directed at Elijah. I respect you, and you call me a brother. Hey, I respect that, But basically, I'm just saying that there's a lot of different assets that are attractive during deflation, during inflation. And for me, all the research I've done, I remember I've been in crypto since I think February or March of 2017. So I got, pretty much a good amount of the bull run. And what did I do? I saw it on Facebook. I downloaded Coinbase, and there was only, I think, 2 assets at the time, maybe 3. It was Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin. And I didn't understand what Ethereum or Litecoin was, so I just bought Bitcoin because that's what I saw. And I was just buying it and buying it and buying it and buying it. And then Christmas came around, and I saw Bitcoin was what, $18,000. I was like, wow, I was just insane. It was just like too good to be true. So when I'm in Vegas, I didn't even gamble because I'm like, hey, I already won. And then when I got home, I noticed the price had crashed down to like 10,000. I'm like, what the heck? No way. So that's when I learned, okay, I got to figure out how to read these charts and how to figure out how to get in and get out and things like that. So that's when I decided I got to understand how to learn charts. So charts are one thing that is by far the most important thing, in my opinion, when evaluating an asset. And the other is the fundamental aspect of the asset. And for me, I think, in my opinion, XRP is the best fundamental asset on planet Earth. Yes, you heard that right, on planet Earth. And I also think it is the very most attractive chart. You might not say that. It looks like sideways torture. But remember, like going back to the 5 phases, I'll do a video about that. You have a rise, you have a crash, you have a retrace, and you have a reaccumulation. Reaccumulation is where we are right now, and it is building a super strong base of reaccumulation. And I couldn't be more stoked for the future of what it's going to behold, right? For it to behold, it's going to be a long journey, but at the end of the day, it'll be worth it. I got a lot of money in this game, so people, you got to put where your money where your mouth is, and for me, that's XRP. But yeah, I do respect your opinion, but I mean, to call it trash tells me that someone has influenced you in the wrong direction, and that makes me more bullish. The more people who call it trash, the more people who make fun of it, the better I feel about my position. You know what I mean? When SHIB came out, everybody made fun of it. Or no, what was it? Dogecoin, right? It was a joke. Everybody made fun of it. Blah, 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 right? It was a joke. But look what it's done now. It's done a massive, massive return for people who caught it, right? And if you look at Dogecoin and you compare it to XRP from a technical perspective, we are where Dogecoin blasted off right before Elon tweeted about it. That's where we are, similar to where XRP is. So you say XRP is a retail delusion. Well, I don't know about that, because if you knew where XRP, or if you knew where Bitcoin came from, Bitcoin was created by governments. It was created by a select group of people, right? And there's two theories. Number one, these people were good and they created Bitcoin so that they have a proof of concept of what digital assets, cryptocurrency is meant to be, which is a decentralized blockchain system designed to, compete with the banking system. Or there's a second theory, probably the more likely theory, that it was developed also by governments to get people used to the fact of digital currency, to get people understanding of its decentralized nature, so that when they do roll out their CBDC, their total control tyrannical powers upon the people are going to welcome it with open arms, because people are used to Bitcoin. Bitcoin is basically something to get people used to the fact. And those are the two theories. And I'm not saying one theory is right or one theory is wrong. I like Bitcoin. I love Bitcoin. I hold Bitcoin. But here's the thing: Bitcoin is like gold. You don't touch gold. You don't move gold. You don't look at it. Where is it at? It's in your safe. That's where it is. Gold doesn't have any utility value. The only utility value it has is store of value, right? But Bitcoin knocked on the door of 60K from coming down from pennies. I would say it's overvalued for me to get interested in Bitcoin. I compare Bitcoin to like a rare baseball card or like a 1957 classic Ferrari. You don't want to drive it, right? You want to keep it in your garage. You want to keep it pristine, maybe take it out once in a while. That's what Bitcoin is, and that's fine. You keep it in your safe, you don't touch it, and you save it for your grandkids. XRP is a little different. It also is a store of value, but more than that, it is like a diesel truck. Think about a semi 18 wheeler or a train. Think about a massive train, right? I don't know if you know who Rosie Rios is, but she was the Secretary of Treasury, and she is on the board of Ripple. If you look at how many people who came and gone from Ripple, there are so many people within government, within the banking system. Ripple with the economic form, and you could say, oh, that's a bad thing, and it could be a bad thing. But if they're planning something with XRP, I don't want to be the one left behind. If it is a government coin, why would you not want to hold it? Don't you want to get rich? At the end of the day, we're all in crypto for what reason? We're all in crypto to get rich. That's the whole point. I don't care if it's Pepe or Poo Poo or Doo Doo or what. If it has the ability to make me money, then I'm all in, right? So for me, for XRP, it looks the best to me from my perspective, from a technical perspective, from a fundamental perspective. I mean, you have a lot of board members, and if you look at their resumes, and if you look at the developers, and if you look at so many other things, see, the problem with people who don't like XRP are usually the ones who are influenced by YouTubers or people who hate it and despise it. But remember, that goes back to my theory of energy, right? Everything, like Nikola Tesla, if you want to understand the universe, think of in terms of frequency and energy. Assets contain energy. The more hate it has doesn't mean it's bad. It just means there's more stored energy in that asset. And when you light the fuse, it's going to totally shock and melt your face because of how much energy was stored into that asset, right? So you have to have a balance, sort of. You have to have a love-hate balance in order for it to work. Like, I've seen a lot of communities, like, I don't really, when you go on Twitter and things like that, There's not a really big Litecoin community. There's not a big chain link community. I mean, there is, but not that big. Like Pepe and Shib and Dogecoin, they actually got a pretty decent community if you look at the statistics. But XRP has, in my opinion, the smartest, most intelligent, best community, in my opinion. From, it's the adult coin, right? Like you look at, the Bitcoin and I'm not going to knock Bitcoin. I'll say Ethereum. Ethereum is trash. That's really trash because it is very expensive to send back and forth. There is no utility value. People are not very smart if they're going to build on Ethereum because people are sick and tired of the gas fees, right? How long does it take to send Ethereum? How much money does it cost to send Ethereum, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? So at the end of the day, there's one coin. Well, actually, there's a few, but there's one for a purpose, and that's XRP for payments. So if you look at grandma and grandpa, like I said before, they don't know what a smart contract is necessarily. They don't know what an oracle is. They don't know what DeFi, decentralized finance is exactly. But they do know what? Payments, right? Everybody makes payments, car payments, insurance payments, house payments, all types of payments. Everybody on planet Earth understands payments. And the best cryptocurrency on planet Earth for payments is XRP. And that is more for the institutional, the banking side. What you said here, XRP is for retail, that's actually wrong. The coin for retail is XLM. That's the coin for retail. And I hold XLM and I really like it. The guy who created a lot of develop for XRP is the same guy who's developing for XLM. I can't think of his name right now. I think it's Jeb McCaleb. It's on the tip of my tongue. But anyway, that guy, he's very smart. And yeah, so anyways, not trying to knock Elijah or anybody in the group. Remember, this is a community. This is a community of traders who want to help each other. We want to help each other. So, saying trash, saying it's a delusion, sort of sarcasm in here, calling it a scam, that's not really contributing to. That's your opinion, and like I said, I respect your opinion. I'm not going to knock anybody's belief set, but I think the best way to go about it is to just have a friendly debate. So here is my 23-minute video on my explanation of why I'm positioned in XRP, and that's just scratching the surface, my friend. That's just scratching the surface. I can go on for another 3 hours on why XRP is the best. And not even talking from a technical point of view. I can get to that video later, but I just find it weird that, you've been a member for such a long time. You've been a member since December 9th of 2022. I've been a member since February 27th. So, I've been here as long as you have, but longer. And I'm trying to understand how come all of a sudden you want to come out swinging like that, It's just kind of odd to me. But you know what? If XRP gets to $6, hey, I'd be a happy camper. I think it's going to go a lot higher than that. Here's another thing. XRP is destined, in my opinion, for a 4.236 Fibonacci extension, just like Bitcoin, just like Ethereum, just like many other coins like Pepe and Dogecoin and all these other coins, right? Maybe not Pepe because it's still brand new, but for example, Chainlink went beyond that. Dogecoin, Matic. There's a lot of coins that reached their full 4.236 Fibonacci extension in the top 10. XRP is, I think, it's one of the only coins in the top 10 that has not yet reached its full potential. And the fact that it has not broken its all-time high, basically XRP is where Bitcoin was during COVID. That's how cheap Bitcoin XRP is relative to the rest of the market. So how can XRP be trash if it's in the top 10 despite not being at an all-time high? That to me is unbelievable. So for example, give me a top 10 coin. I think Matic, right? So imagine Matic or one of these other coins were at their COVID levels, right? Imagine they were near their COVID levels or in that same area. They would not be in the top 10, you know? There's a lot of coins that broke above their all-time high and reached at least a 1.618 extension. If you look at Bitcoin, it from a market cap perspective, it did reach a 4.236. So, they reached their full extension. XRP has not even broken its all-time high. That's why I'm investing in it, right? Why would I invest in a coin that already blew past its all-time high? Like, for example, Bitcoin. Bitcoin is crashing, it's in a bear market, right? This could be a dead cat bounce. We could still see a little higher prices, but it's not going to even be the same. Nowhere even close to the percentage potential of XRP or even XLM, right? I'm looking for coins that are cheap and boring. And that's where people don't understand, right? Cheap and boring. Why would you want cheap and boring? Because those are the coins with the most success. Those are the coins with the most potential. If I'm looking at an asset, I want to see sideways torture, boring, depressing, no volatility, very, very low. The reason why is because those types of assets are in the end of their cycle, which is reaccumulation. The reaccumulation part of the cycle, it's basically oscillating up and down, up and down. That's where smart money, and I'll emphasize that again, smart money, that's where they are accumulating, right? They're not accumulating above all-time highs. They're not accumulating on a crashing structure. They're accumulating inside a accumulation range. For example, here is XRP right here, as you know. And I'll just highlight a few reasons why it's so bullish. So go back here. That's 2017, right? Check this out. We have basically been in one massive box. That is called accumulation, my friend. So that is 2017, right? 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023. That's over six years, going on 7 years of sideways. That is why I love it, because it is building a super strong base. It is building a super strong base. You see all this volume down in here? This, my friend, is a super strong base. So if you look at other coins, they go like this, and then they collapse. They go like this, they collapse, right? I'm not interested in that. I want to see low volatility. And then also, if you look at the triangle, look at this. Look at that. There's A, B, C, D, and now we're going to E, and then guess what happens? We blast off. So I wouldn't want anybody to miss this blast off, not financial advice. I could be totally wrong, and we can go to zero. You just don't know. But from everything I've done as far as research and, the fundamental understanding of crypto as the technology, the fundamental, the utility, and most important, the technical, I think it's very, very important. And then also, if you look at here, look at this. This is also a base. This is a base. This whole thing is a base, right? We are building up a super strong base. So, for example, we built a super strong base here. Here's your base, right? And let me just show you this. We have a rise, we have a crash, we have a retrace, we have reaccumulation, sideways, 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 blast off. Right? So same thing here. We have a rise, we have a crash, we have a retrace, we have reaccumulation, sideways, sideways, sideways. What comes next? Yes, sir, blast off. So if it's a government scam coin, then give me more, because anything developed by the government, I would definitely want. I mean, think about all the secret stuff the government is hiding, right? Like for example, all the UFO stuff that's been coming out, the aerial phenomenon, all that stuff. It's basically man-made, back-engineered, super high-tech technology. And the reason why it's so covered up is not because of aliens and all that dogma Hollywood bullcrap, but instead it's energy. It's not about oil, gas, solar, wind, nuclear. It's not about that. It's about energy. And these devices create unlimited amounts of energy. Going back to Tesla, right? These devices can power your car, your house, your neighborhood, your city, your state, your country, your planet, infinitely for free. But guess what? ExxonMobil, the government, the deep state, the central banks, they don't want anybody to have that type of energy, because that would create abundance. It would end poverty in a second. And they can't have that, because they need the world dependent on oil and gas, right? You know that electrical meter that's on your house or your apartment or wherever you live? That thing is constantly spinning. And that is basically the moral of life, is basically a meter. They have a meter on your car, they have a meter on your house, they have a meter, everything. And that's the whole government concept. It's all control and tyranny. So you could say, well, if XRP is a government coin, which I don't think it is, but if it is, why would you not want to hold it, right? Anything the government makes with the intended purpose of doing something with it has to be astronomical. So count me in. But anyways, can't believe I ranted on this long. Please, if you would like to respond, please go ahead. If anybody is open to take the mic. I highlighted a few reasons why I'm bullish. I could continue going on, but from a technical perspective, I'm liking what I'm seeing. I mean, just look at the similarities here. Look at this. You have a boom, you have a W, and then a flat, right? You kind of have a flat W. Say same thing here. Boom, flat. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. And what happens next? Boom. What happens next? Boom. See here, this was a base, and you're coiling up like you're coiling a spring, and then boom, you blast off. Same thing here. You're coiling up, coiling up, coiling up, coiling up. What happens next? Blast off. So, it's just something to keep an eye on. I mean, I can even go to the higher time frame, and it's even more clear. There's a couple ways you can look at this. Number one, this can do this easily, right? And then come back up. But it wouldn't look right. Or it can be something like this, or like I said, something like this. But to me, it looks like you have a rise, crash, retrace, reaccumulation, sideways, sideways, reaccumulation, blast off. So same thing. You have a rise, you have a crash, you have a retrace, you have reaccumulation, you have sideways, 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 reaccumulation. And what's going on right now? We're potentially breaking out, and we're ready to rock and roll. So, if we pull the Fibonacci extension, And I can do this with other coins as well. You're looking at between $10 and $13. That's the target. So $10 to $13, right? That's almost 2,000%. I mean that will make me retire tomorrow, right? That would be millions and millions and millions of dollars if that were to happen for me. If it got back to its all-time high, I would be a millionaire. I would be happy. Give it to me. You know what I mean? So, if XRP is trash, then I'm a trash can. So fill me up. Let's go.